Hello, I'm Dr. Matthew Sim. How are you feeling today? I hope you're feeling great. All right, if not, go and do some exercise and make sure you eat right. Try to eat some salmon once a week. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth the while. And then try to eat a handful of almonds uh, once in a while. Okay, this is me in Bangkok, standing next to a former Thai minister. I believe he was a police general last time. For this and all my videos, I never guarantee success. Nobody can. So do not listen to me. I repeat, do not listen to me. All right. You should think independently. Think for yourself. Right. And depend on the Lord God for your blessings. Pray consistently. Right. There's only so much we can do as a human being. We think, we invest, but it's God that gives the blessings. Okay, and before you invest, consult your financial advisors. But again, I say, depend on yourself. Do not depend on others. Right? Nobody has your interests except yourself. Right? Don't give anyone else a blank check for your investments. Why do I do this? Why do I put up all the videos? Right? Just like Iron Man's father, stuck. I remember he recorded the video for his sons. So I'm doing this for my sons and hopefully my grandchildren as well. Right? This is for posterity. I cannot be with them all the time, and I cannot be with my grandchildren all the time. Okay, there's three simple investment portfolios that I consider. I'm going to go through this with you later on. Okay, the first investment portfolio is by John Bogle. Right, John Bogle was the founder of Vanguard. Vanguard. So, according to Investopedia, in 2015, Bogle revealed his retirement portfolio allocation had shifted more towards a 50-50 allocation, with 50% in equities and 50% in bonds. His allocation is roughly half in intermediate term bonds and half in shorter term bonds. Okay, so that means all bonds are less than 10 years, more or less. You can look at this source, Investopedia. So John Bogle, 50-50, very simple to understand. 50% stocks and 50% bonds. What is not stated here is that for stocks, he would buy uh, his Vanguard fund. He would buy either the S&P 500 or the US Total Market Index Fund, comprising of all types of companies in the USA, the whole market, large companies, small companies, and so on. That was his strategy. He has now since passed away. Okay, the second strategy is the Warren Buffett strategy. So, according to www.fool.com, right, Warren Buffett, he wrote that the instructions in his will state that the trustee is to invest 90% in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, with the remaining 10% to be invested in short-term government bonds. So Warren Buffett said that when he dies, his trustee will sell all his Berkshire Hathaway uh, stocks and put 90% in S&P 500 index fund and 10% in short-term government bonds, right? So it's a good idea actually because the S&P 500 is a low cost. But then again, Warren Buffett is a billionaire. He's a billionaire. All right. Most of us are not billionaires, right? For one, I'm an average investor. So if you are a billionaire, 10% of a short-term bond is enough for you to survive on when you retire, right? But if you are not a billionaire, you may have to shift and increase your maybe your bond holdings if you need the dividends and the uh, interest rates to help you in your day-to-day living lah. Right? So this is the second portfolio. Okay, the third portfolio is the Ray Dalio's portfolio lah, right? He call it the all-weather portfolio, but I call it for the average man lah. So his one is a bit more complex, right? Right. His one is 30% stocks, right? 30% stocks, 55% fixed income, and 15% commodities, right? So it's a bit more difficult to do, but Ray Dalio is a billionaire, very successful hedge fund manager, and he believes stocks should only be 30%, right? And then and he believes that 7.5% should be in commodities, all right, and 7.5% should be in gold, right, as in gold commodities. And for his 55% fixed income, 15% should be intermediate, and 40% should be long term. But the problem now is under current situations, the interest rate is very, very low, very, very low. But according to Ray Dalio, he is thinking for the long term, right? Good or bad, he will stay invested. This is his ideal situation. So there are three investment portfolios. So which one should one choose? It depends on you. You have to decide for your own. But you have to adjust it accordingly. So it depends on where you're staying. If you're American, you can follow John Bogle and Warren Buffett and invest in the S&P 500 index fund or the total market fund, like what John Bogle has done. There's no one size fit all investment portfolio. If you do what Ray Dalio tells you, also a possibility, except that it's a bit more complex, right? Personally, you should decide on your own. Personally, I look at the 50-50 as quite reasonable. 50% equity and 50% bonds, right? But again, the bonds you should buy it at the right time, right? If the interest rate is very low, let's say 1%, less than 1% for 30 years, and you buy 50% of your portfolio now at less than 1%, forever you're stuck at 1%, right? So this is something you really have to think about, right? That is the danger right now. The market always has risk. The market always has risk. And even though there is not a perfect time to buy it, I think you can time the market to a certain extent. It will not be a perfect timing, right? But if the bond rates are very low now, then you have to decide, do you want to invest in bonds now at 1% for 30 years, or you wait until it goes up higher? But you never know whether it will go up higher, or that's a risk you take. Well, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just type HC Matthew Sim. HC Matthew Sim. Or you can look at my Instagram. Instagram is not critical. Better to look at the video. Alright, YouTube videos. I think it's a bit more worth your time. The Instagram is just for fun. Okay, I will see you next time. Take care, pray hard. Alright, and you see all the books on the right? These are the books that I've wrote over the years. One is on Myanmar. I stayed in Myanmar for a few years, right? I was attached there as a diplomat in one of the embassies. I was seconded there, and then the other books are on entrepreneurship. So I'll see you next time. Boom.